clever pun.
Hello and welcome to the Kongversation. I'm Hyle Russell.
And I'm Jeff Onan.
And before we start, I would like to say Mitchell Wolf was planning on joining us today, but per E3 tradition, he decided to drink an entire glass of spiders. And
Right.
He just can't go on because, you know, they bite, they get in there.
He's also a little intolerant, so he's got bathroom troubles.
Right. So I applaud him for trying to keep the E3 traditions going, but at what cost? At what cost, Mitchell? Feel better soon, buddy. Jeff and I will pick up the slack while you rest, while you cleanse those little arachnids from your tubes.
Yeah. Well, sorry about your butt spiders, but we got a lot to talk about, and by that I mean not really a lot, but we're gonna have fun with it anyway.
We have a lot in spirit to talk about, Jeff. I'm happy you're here. It's not E3 without my buddy Jeff. That's what I always say, and it's not E3. It's
you
not
have that
E3.
tattooed. You have that tattooed right on your erect penis. So,
oh, it's plenty soft for you right now.
It just says "it's" instead of "it's not E3 without my buddy Jeff." Yeah,
and it is not E3.
You're a grower, not a shower.
Yeah, it's not E3 2022 here at DK Vine, where we celebrate the not E3. It's all of the game reveals with none of the structure. It's terrible, and of course, the schedule for the week ahead, the schedule for the Brits listening in, is kind of up in the air right now, Jeff, because our good friends at Nintendo, you know, my emergency call is Nintendo. If anything happens to me in DK Vine, you're supposed to call Nintendo.
I gave Nintendo the power of attorney if ever something were to happen.
Right, they get to decide if they harvest my organs or not. Nintendo hasn't announced whether or not they are having a Nintendo Direct this week. And I said on Friday's not E3 2022 preview that, well, the rest of the week would basically be determined when Nintendo is holding the Direct. We still do not know, and I didn't expect them to announce it over the weekend. I figured they might announce it Monday, or if the rumored Wednesday date holds true, Tuesday, depending on how much heads up they want to give us. But if there is a Nintendo Direct, we will do a conversation live about it that night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. If there's no Nintendo Direct, we will have a conversation live on our idyllic fantasy E3 at some point this week, once we know that Nintendo really isn't coming out to play. So that will be just basically people from DK Vine waxing fantasies about, you know, the best kind of E3 for the likes of people who read DK Vine. So just complete horseshit, but I think it will help get us through the week. Also, there's going to be a DKU Tribunal special session of the conversation for Killer Instinct 2013, and that will occur either Thursday or Friday, Nintendo Direct permitting. So we're going to relitigate Killer Instinct 2013. I know our good friend Mitchell, before he swallowed the spiders, said, haven't you done this like 8 times already? This Killer Instinct, like putting it up for the tribunal? Well, we have more stuff to go on. As I explained to Mitchell, history has unspooled even further since we last talked about it. And I think it's time to bring it up and judge it once again. So we will be doing that.
See, the DKU does not have double jeopardy, okay? If you found innocent of not being DKU, we could try you again and again until we get you.
Right.
There's no justice.
As soon as Alex Trebek died, we were like, this is our chance. We better take it. There's no double jeopardy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll also be streaming at various points throughout the week. I will also be playing Mario Strikers Battle League for you all at one point. I'm really looking forward to that.
One of those party horns, from off of parties.
Yeah, it sounded like Idarb.
Yeah, I drink your milkshake.
I probably won't enjoy Battle League as much as Idarb, if I'm perfectly honest with everyone. But
Speaking of, I don't want to get a spoiler into what we're going to talk about today, but no Idarb 2.
No.
There's no appearance by hashtag IDARB2. So
I know it was on everybody's E3, watch list. Like, oh, we got to watch out for hashtag IDARB numero 2. And they didn't. I don't know why it would be numero 2 and not numero dos, but numero 2. That's what they would call it. And nope, no show. They've been rumored to have an Idarb 2 for a while now.
I think they announced it. I thought they announced it like just in a tweet, like we're making it, but that was like 2 years ago, and we've never seen it since.
Yeah.
Well, they got it's an intensive game. AAA game development is a tricky industry right now. It takes years. So we'll see.
I would make the argument, Jeff, that Idarb is the first quadruple A game.
I would say Idarb 2 is pushing that really kind of the limits of what you could call art. Yeah.
It sounds like we're being saucy and a little sarcastic, but
we actually like Idarb.
Yeah, I unabashedly love hashtag IDRB. I think.
Yeah, and I unabashedly like it.
So maybe next year, maybe the Xbox and Bethesda game showcase next year.
Pour some out.
They'll just dedicate the entire thing to Idarb, like that one year at E3 where Nintendo just showed off Breath of the Wild.
I feel like it'll be there just one more thing, and they say, and before we go, we have just one more surprise in store, and then it's like their biggest bombshell is at the end of the show.
Yeah.
And then it's hashtag IDARB2.
Special hello to those in the live stream. We are streaming this live as we do it on our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/DKVine, dkvine.com/Twitch if you don't like typing TV. But we got Crinkle Root, hello. Got your friend G-Man, sir, Jeff.
That's my friend G-Man, sir.
Yeah, we got Phoenix Lord. Phoenix Lord says, I hear they're going to add your dad to the sequel, and that would be a game changer.
Yeah, I don't even know what my dad looks like. I haven't seen him in 30 years. He went to get cigarettes. And
no, he just went to Idarb too. It just took him that long to get there.
Yeah, actually, my dad works at Nintendo. That's what. So, and he told me there's no Donkey Kongs.
Oh,
sorry.
Oh, damn! I don't like your dad.
Yeah. Well.
So. Something else I talked about on our Friday episode where we did the not E3 2022 preview. So I went on my bear hike Saturday morning. I'd still yet to go on my bear hike, but I went on my bear hike in the interim between Kongversation episodes. I got up like at 4:30 in the morning, and I showered. I brushed my teeth. I used mouthwash, and I
probably peed.
Oh, I definitely peed.
First thing first, gotta pee.
The stories I could tell about. So here's what I do when I pee in the morning, Jeff. I play Mario Kart Tour's Quick Race.
Oh, I thought you were gonna see that is not at all where I thought you were gonna go. I thought you were gonna talk about something involving the pee. No. Yeah.
I will forget to do it unless I do it during my first pee of the day. So I've made it a routine where I'm urinating and I'm selecting whatever character they want me to play as for that quick race. This morning it was Hammer Bro. So I was whizzing it out and I was controlling.
So you were holding your Hammer Bro in your hand and playing his Hammer Bro in the other hand. That's great.
So anyway, I did my morning routine, and I left, and I drove up into the mountains, and I arrived atop the mountain at about 8:30 in the morning, local time, of course. And the weather forecast was clear, Jeff. I want to be clear. I looked ahead. I was like, oh, it's going to be maybe a slightly cloudy, but otherwise sunny day, perfect bear weather. I got up to the top of the mountain, and it was pouring rain. Pouring. And
Woof.
again, there was no rain in the surrounding Piedmont regions or the adjacent valley. So it was literally just raining on me. So that would be one thing. Oh, I get a little wet. Ooh, whatever. I get wet every E3. It happens. I'm used to it. I enjoy it. But here's the bad thing. So I do these E3 bear hikes when E3 happens, which is early to mid-June. So every other E3 bear hike since I started this tradition, since 2010, the year of Donkey Kong Country Returns is when I started this tradition. I saw a bear, we got Donkey Kong Country Returns. I was like, there we go. That means something.
Connections.
So this is going to be a tradition from now on, and I've held to it. But it's June, so I dress as I do for a hike in the mountains in the humid summer months. I was wearing a t-shirt, actually my Spiral Mountain Explorers t-shirt from Fangamer, because I went all out with this. I was wearing a t-shirt, I was wearing shorts, and I had a backpack full of some survival supplies.
It's a really long way to tell me that you got really wet.
Well, no, it's not just that I got wet, Jeff, because imagine my surprise to get to the top of the mountain, and it's June, and usually I'm sweating during the bear hike, or at least just pleasantly warm. But it was 45 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 7 degrees Celsius for the rest of the world.
I needed a translation.
Yeah. So
sounds cold.
It was cold, especially for the way I was dressed. Were I wearing jeans and a jacket, I would have been fine. That would have been...
Or like a jean jacket.
Right. If I would have been just decked out in denim... acid-washed denim, I would have been quite the fashionable stud strolling through the forest, and I wouldn't have gotten cold. But I was dressed for an E3 bear hike. So, with the water falling on me actually several degrees colder than the temperature in the air, I got pretty cold pretty quickly. And in my several hours scouring the forest, I saw no bear prints, but partially because it was raining so hard, it was actually washing away any footprints that were being made. I tested this out, and my footprints were like eroded within a minute. So,
Woof.
Yeah, I could not track the bears, let alone stumble upon them. And of course I could not stumble upon them because they were all hunkered down because it was cold and raining. So, by the time I had to just call it was about 1 p.m. that I got out of there, I was shivering. My teeth were chattering. I couldn't feel my arms. Like, my hands had gone completely numb. And while I do have things in my survival backpack, like a fire-starting flint, there'd be no way to start a fire in this. And why would I start a campfire when I'm just trying to get back to my car to get the hell out of there? So I got in my car, turned on the heat, and basically sat there for 20 minutes until I could feel things again. And not just like my fingers, but emotions. And I got out of there. And so I did not see
that was predicting the ice region that's going to come to Sea of Thieves. You got so cold on E3 hike. That's what that means.
So I did let the forum and the patrons and our Facebook page know. The story was too long to share on Twitter, but I let everyone know I did not see a bear. But if you only listen to the Kongversation...
That's not too long of a story. You just tweet, I did not see a bear.
I feel like I need to explain, because if I just say I didn't see a bear, then that makes me look bad. If I explain the circumstances, then it's nature's fault.
Seeing a bear is not up to you. It's up to whether there's a new Banjo game or a new Donkey Kong game. That's the cosmic connection between seeing the bear. So there's nothing you could have done to see a bear because there is no Banjo and Donkey Kong games this year.
This year. We don't know. We don't know if Nintendo's coming to play, and we don't know what they're going to show. So hope springs eternal, but I didn't see a bear. And so I got the feeling back in my hands, and I drove out of there, got back home. Unbeknownst to me, the Banjo-Kazooie rumors we were talking about during our E3 2022 preview had blown up during the time I was getting out of there. So around 1 p.m. my time, Andy Robinson's site, take a drink, everybody. Andy Robinson, VGC, VideoGamesChronicle.com, ran a story, and the headline was, Xbox is planning a Banjo-Kazooie reveal, developer claims. Which is a very misleading headline, because you think developer claims, the person developing it is coming out with it. They're spilling the beans. They're spilling the guffo all over the table. We now know Banjo-Kazooie is coming. The byline, the subheadline, whatever you call it, the secondary headline said the series could reportedly appear during the Xbox showcase on Sunday.
That's today, Hyle.
Yeah,
that's today.
Yeah, and
I'm still waiting for it.
Yeah, if you're looking at the key art to this episode on YouTube or SoundCloud, you will see a green woman who is not Gruntilda. I realized I realized that when I was making this, because I have a theme for all of these not E3 episodes, and that's, the E3 of the mind, and everything's kind of, surreal hues, and just like, ooh, it's a dream. Are we really here? And so for this episode, I picked Nine Cat Nura from off of the Sea of Thieves trailer we saw today. And because it's Xbox, I tinted her green, not realizing that from a distance, it just looks like sexy grunty. And that's, of course, in everybody's mind because of the She-Hulk show that's coming out on Disney Plus. Everybody's talking about sexy grunty. And so, yeah, sorry if you saw this in your YouTube thumbnails and excitedly clicked it thinking they announced a sexy grunty game. That wasn't my intention. Sorry. Anyway.
There's no games. Let's get that out of the way. We're 15 minutes in. If you want to stick around for the rest, you can, but there will be no games from here to the end. We don't have any games. But
listen,
we still have thoughts. We have thoughts on things that are there and things that aren't there.
I have thoughts on this.
Not games.
I have thoughts on this Banjo-Kazooie rumor, Jeff. Don't you?
Yeah, let's just get right into it. What do you think about this rumor? That didn't come true.
Let me hear that. Let me read to you some of this VGC.com or VideoGamesChronicle.com.
Do we have to drive traffic to VGC? That's fine. Do what you got to do.
No. This is for you, Andy Robinson. Man gets me drunk. So, apparently, Nate the Hate, who is I don't know, he's a leaker somewhere. He leaks stuff. He had another leaker on there named Modern Vintage Gamer, who goes by the initials MVG, apparently.
That checks out.
MVG apparently works for Night Dive Studios.
Okay.
Yeah. And
sounds real.
MVG claimed that he'd heard talk of a revival of Banjo-Kazooie at GDC, Games Done Quick. Or Games Done Quick. No, that's not Games Done Quick.
Oh, GDC's Game Developers Conference.
Game Developers Conference, okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
We gotta stop with all... There's too many letters. Why can't people use words anymore? We're using letters.
VGC, MVG, GDC, GDQ. I can't keep up.
GDI. God damn it. All right, let's... What did they say? They said GDC told them?
They said people at the goddamn convention were talking earlier this year, and there were some people talking about Banjo. This is what MVG said, according to Nate the Hayes podcast, according to VGC, the Andy Robinson site. I've heard that Banjo's coming up for months now, from different people. Something's happening with Banjo. What I can't tell you is what that is. I feel pretty strongly that there will be a Banjo announcement at this show, because man, I just keep hearing about Banjo.
Okay.
And then, of course, Phil Spencer was, seen playing Banjo-Kazooie the other day, and that was the whole thing.
Phil Spencer plays video games?
Yeah, I don't buy it. I thought he just wore t-shirts. So, Jeff, this rumor got blowed up because of this, and it kind of been bouncing around in the background as static noise. I didn't bring it up until Friday on the Kongversation, but very similar to what happened with Donkey Kong last year. The big sites ran with it, got expectations all up in the stratosphere, and then, of course, the game wasn't shown at the respective showcase or direct, and people are disappointed, people are hurt, people are angry now, which, of course, you could predict that would happen. I did not run this story on DK Vine specifically for this reason. I said on Friday, the time's about right for somebody at Xbox Studios to do something with Banjo. And, 3 years on from Smash Ultimate, their inclusion there, it would make sense. And I think this year would have a better shot of it happening than previous years, but still about 50-50. And it didn't happen. And I think people are upset, but I don't think people need to be upset. I think it's an overreaction. Sure, I even got my hopes up going into it. Was I disappointed that I didn't see it? Briefly. I got over it. Here's what I'm feeling about Banjo-Kazooie right now, Jeff. And you're free to disagree with me, because I know you like to disagree with me, but...
Thank you for giving me freedom. Thank you for that.
Freedoms... I believe that
that's the key.
Yeah.
The key to freedom is that you need someone to give you permission to have it.
Right. Yeah, that's the definition, the textbook definition of freedom. I think Banjo-Kazooie, a revival or a remake or something, I think we will see it at some point within the next couple of years.
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
I don't want to run with the idea that, there's smoke to the rumors. This wasn't the right time for it to get shown. The right attitude for the moment is to call this rumor dead until proven otherwise. Because you can't just be like, every time you have a rumor and it's like, the rumor didn't come true, that just means it's coming true later. That's just a bad attitude. You can't live life like that. Just chill, all right? There will be more Banjo in the universe someday. This rumor might have been true, but just not the right time. But this rumor also could be bullshit. And then a new Banjo might happen later, but it might have nothing to do with this.
It could be. The big difference here where... I feel more confident about Donkey Kong because of what we have been told about Donkey Kong. I have not been told anything about the Banjo revival. I do not know. I'm just in the dark as you all. Apparently not as in the dark as, what was it, MVP? MVG, most valued gamer, who's been told the truth.
I thought you were going to say you're not as in the dark as Billy Squier, because that's a Billy Squier song. Anyway, continue.
Oh, Jeff, I've missed you. I missed you in the conversation because I can't make all these boomer music references with anybody.
Well, here, I'll give you another one while I've got you here. Every E3, we just get all these rumors. There's so many rumors and rumors, but we never get any Tusk. We never get Mirage. We never get Tango in the Night. We don't get the Fleetwood Mac self-titled album. Like, nothing. Yeah. Come on. Always rumors.
Yeah. We don't even get the early blues albums.
All right. I got it out of my system.
All right. Good. All right. I love Rumors, the Fleetwood Mac album, because it's all about, hey, did you hear how we're all wife swapping? Let's do an album about it.
It's a song for people cheating. I think it's... Oh shit! Who's that comedian? You know that comedian? Oh god, I fucked up the whole thing. Anyway, John Mulaney. He says it's an album for people cheating on each other by people cheating on each other,
and he should know that.
Yeah. He brought it up because it was "Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow" was the Bill Clinton campaign song.
Oh, okay.
And anyway, Fleetwood Mac. What a fun bunch.
Yeah, and then he left his wife for Olivia Munn. So.
Got her pregnant, went to rehab, came back out, did a show with Dave Chappelle. He's doing great.
Yeah, I would say
he's a rescue ranger now, so things are going good for him.
Here's the thing, Jeff. I would say, and this is I've been doing this for a long time. This is our 10th year of the Kongversation. I've been doing DK Vine for 22 years. So I can speak with some authority here. I feel like the Banjo-Kazooie rumor is in better standing than John Mulaney at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just too spindly. He's not in good standing because if you've seen his weird little legs, he's like a spindly looking guy. Doesn't look like he can stand good. But that aside, I'll tell you what. Here's my problem with this rumors, with the leak culture in general.
Yeah.
People, it basically creates expectations where there weren't any, where people normally would go in blind but hopeful, and then instead they go in with expecting and feeling entitled to something that
for sure,
and was never even guaranteed, and then they come out of it being mad like they were robbed of something they were promised,
and
the reality is you built that in your own head, you dummy.
I can understand being upset because, I didn't see a franchise I really like, but the fact that the feeling that you're entitled to see it because a leaker said it, that's the bridge too far for me. And all I can say is I'm so relieved, Jeff, that it wasn't us this time put in a crosshairs. We weren't throwing this rumor around. It's not like last year where our story got blown up by the major gaming media, and then everybody was looking at us when there was no Donkey Kong game during the Direct. Not that problem this year. It's Andy Robinson's problem this year. So cheers.
Yeah, I think it would have been cool. It would have been cool to see a Banjo remake. There was the specifics of it going around where people saying it was going to be Double Fine making a Banjo remake, which I just saw right away.
I never believed that.
It's just not happening that way. That's just not how that would go down. So don't even, that's why I didn't even go in expecting it at all, because I was like, well, this just sounds incorrect. It doesn't sound like true information.
Double Fine has already come out and said they don't want to do it. So it's
multiple times.
Yeah.
Tim Schafer is getting irritated having to answer the question again and again. No, he's not making a Banjo game. It's not what they do at Double Fine. They don't make Banjo games. But, if it happens, it happens. It'd be cool. I don't even really want a remake.
Well, and I talked about this. Dustin and I were in agreement, and I think Cameron was pretty much in the same wavelength that, if they did announce a Banjo remake, I would be happy. But it's not. Yeah. If you ask me right now, do you want a Banjo remake or do you want a new game? I would say, 10 times out of 10, I want a new game. But if we just got a remake, hey, that would still be pretty cool. It would be worth being excited about. But, all I can say is, hey, well, I know I've said all I can say like 3 different times now, so obviously I can keep talking about this all night long, but I won't bore you to tears, Jeff, with my thoughts on a Banjo-Kazooie game that may not even exist, and it's just, a rumor at this point, but I'm just glad that people are talking about it. Like the possibility is out there. That just feels good again. I feel like for the last several years we've just there's no hope for a Banjo-Kazooie game, so it's not even in the air. I like that it's in the air. I like that we can at least speculate about it.
Nobody is speculating about Jet Force Gemini 2.
Right.
Right. But Banjo always is possible. They put him on Smash Brothers. They put him on Smash Brothers. So,
I've heard something about that. Yeah.
Once they get put on Smash Brothers, it's kind of like saying, "Look, they're on Smash Brothers." So that must mean they're not dead. It's not a dead franchise. It's a sleepy franchise, like a bear. When you go to the mountain and it's raining and it's 40 degrees, the bears are slipping.
And just like I got better from that, you can just jump into a hot shower and wash your disappointment away.
Yeah. Good. Look at that. Little life advice for you.
There you go.
There was another potential remake thing that didn't show.
Yes, and this one has a lot more evidence going for it than Banjo.
This is one I feel confident this is a game that exists, and it just hasn't been shown. So we're talking about Goldeneye 007. Must be the 7th in this series. I don't really know much about it.
Yeah, it's As we discussed on our preview episode, some rare staffers kind of got caught unlocking achievements for a Goldeneye 007 on the Xbox.
Naughty.
Naughty, yes. Tisk. And it's all but guaranteed that it's coming. Now, it should be pointed out that this isn't going to be Xbox's only presentation this week. They're going to have another how do you do
this is essentially like their version of the Nintendo Treehouse, right?
Yes,
sort of.
Yes.
So there's going to be more like actual gameplay footage and talking with the devs about, demos and stuff, which is more instead of this what was today, which was kind of trailers, reveals in big trailer format.
Yeah, it was structured like your typical E3 presentation. Maybe a little bit less on-stage chicanery. Phil Spencer only appeared once.
There was no Jeff Keighley, thank God.
Thank God, yeah. But there was Sarah Bond, and of course everybody got the jokes out of the way early. She appeared, and everybody was like, oh, there we go. There's Bond.
Oh, James Bond.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
So anyway, there's no GoldenEye 007, and the thought as of right now is, well, maybe that's too small to be shown in these big dramatic gameplay and game reveal trailers. Maybe they're just going to drop that in there on, what is it, Tuesday's event?
Yeah, Tuesday. Maybe it's Trailer Tuesday. Or
maybe they're just like holding on to it still. Maybe it's not ready to be shown. Maybe the little conflict over in Ukraine is still keeping it from.
Yeah. So plot wise, in terms of the game plot, it may not be pertinent. May not be good timing to show that one off. I know that the anniversary of that game, I believe, is in August.
Yeah.
And I know every year they've got Gamescom in August, which is like the German E3.
Yeah.
So, that might be a good time for it to just get revealed and shadow dropped. Just like one of those, like, here's the reveal and you can download it today. Like one of those.
Or play it with Game Pass today. Yeah, I think that if it's not shown on Tuesday, that will be when we'll see GoldenEye. And I think the 25th anniversary is just the perfect timing for it. And yeah, but like I said on Friday, they probably have to show it before they announce the next James Bond actor, because they do. Ian Productions has the Broccoli family. They do have strict guidelines about promoting older Bond content while there is a current Bond in residency, and so one of the big reasons why this could potentially be released now is because Daniel Craig is no longer James Bond, but they have not announced Idris Elba or whoever is going to be the next one. So,
oh, that'd be cool. Idris Elba? Did you just think of that?
Yeah, I thought of it all by myself. Nobody has ever suggested that possibility.
That's really good fan casting. I might make that my dream Bond fan cast.
Yeah.
All right. So we didn't get Banjo.
We didn't get
Banjo.
Course. We didn't get Bond.
Didn't get James Bond, Golden Bond.
Can I just say, it would have been perfect if we got both Bond and Banjo, because then it would have been just like E3 from 25 years ago, and then they could have delayed Banjo and announced Diddy Kong Racing instead.
That'd be good. Or maybe they would just make Diddy Kong Racing DLC for Forza Horizon 5.
Yeah, when I was watching the Forza trailer, one of the two, the first one, I was thinking, could you imagine if this trailer was exactly the same, including like the hip hop music backing, but it was like Bumper the Badger tearing down the road.
Yeah, and then they like zoom in on the asphalt to show the like dynamic lighting, and we animated every blade of grass so that you can drive by at 90 miles an hour and not look at it. Cool. Thank you. You know what, Forza, that's cool. As soon as they showed that trailer, I posted a picture from the movie Cars, the Disney Pixar film Cars, and then the very next trailer they showed was Microsoft Flight Simulator. So of course, then I posted a picture from the Disney Pixar movie Planes.
Actually, Pixar did not make Planes.
I know they didn't make it, but it's in the Cars universe, which is Disney Pixar.
It is in the Cars universe, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't talk about Planes much anymore.
Well, but the problem is that it went direct to DVD, right? And nobody has a DVD anymore. Nobody buys a DVD, so they keep putting these on the shelves, and nobody's buying them, and nobody has a way to play them. And so, it's just these movies that no one can watch. It's like lost media.
I do like the idea that Disney's Planes in the Cars universe, or from the universe of Cars, is their equivalent to Diddy Kong Racing for us. It's like, well, it's lost. Nobody can experience this, but we have such fond memories of it. Disney's Planes. Yeah.
They wanted to complete the trilogy, the planes, trains, and the automobiles, but when they realized if they make a movie about living trains, the trains don't get to do much because they're on rails. You can't. There's like no agency for a train.
Oh, I thought the Thomas the Tank Engine people would sue.
Oh yeah, well Ringo Starr, yeah, he was on that anyway.
So was Alec Baldwin. Watch out,
right? And was it George Carlin?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay.
I never watched it. I just, for some reason, have an intimate knowledge of who was in it.
I saw someone on the internet made a Thomas the Tank Engine looking fleshlight.
Yeah.
And that's when I said, I'm done with internet for a while. So, anyway, so we didn't get a Banjo. We didn't get a Goldeneye. And there's also some other things. Don't worry. There's some other things that we also didn't get. If you were keeping track. Yeah. We didn't get Conquer. No, but we didn't see the new Perfect Dark game at all. We didn't see the new Everwild.
Everwild, yeah.
Yeah, not the stinky old.
The first one was such a classic that I've been waiting for that second one.
So yeah, they restricted this show just to games that are coming out in the next 12 months. So implicitly, that means, of course, that Everwild and Perfect Dark, if they are still being made, are not coming out in the next 12 months.
I can understand companies doing this, like, oh, we want to limit this to games that are immediate, but I do miss just getting my appetite whetted. I do miss the feeding frenzy of, we're just gonna announce anything goes. Let's just get buck wild with this.
I think it's good to have a mix. I think you should have some hard, like, here's what you can play in September, and here's the big thing we have for November, and this one's coming out early next year in the spring. Like, you need some of those so people have immediate things to buy their pre-order from GameStop to get their exclusive in-game underwear or whatever. But you also, I think you should have a mix of a couple longer form trailers that you're just like, and by the way, little truth bomb here, boom, there's going to be a Metroid Prime 4 next decade. Like those little announcements that aren't in the immediate future, they still go a long way to get people excited. So I think showing us a little more about Perfect Dark would have been a good move. But hey, I'm not in charge of Perfect Dark over there at the what they call themselves, the initiative. I don't know.
I think that for me, I can understand why game companies have gotten so conservative about promising games. Unless it's knee deep in development, because they don't want to keep, promising something and it keeps getting development snags. And
the second you announce it, you now have to manage the Twitter account.
Yeah.
And you will be, and so if the game's not coming out for 4 years, why would you pay some intern to run a Twitter account and get verbally harassed 7 days a week when there's no news to share? Someone's just in there in the DMs on the Twitter account being a little shit. There's not even a game to talk about yet. So that's a lot of resources that you're spending just to be running a Twitter account for a game that doesn't even come out yet. So,
but I do like the mix, as you said. For me, like, E3 is some sort of grand orgy where you just have like everything in there.
Speaking of Fleetwood Mac,
yeah,
we got
and you can't be like picky at the orgy. You can't be like, well, I don't want to fuck them. No, the most successful orgy, anything goes, and so that's, to me, what E3
you've got to put in. You've got to put in your time.
Yeah.
You don't get to just have sex with the best people at the orgy. you have to move around and mingle, like, or else, people are going to think you're selfish. It's like if you have the plate of nachos and you only pick up the chips with all the meat and loaded toppings, and you never eat and then everyone else is left eating just chips.
I wouldn't know about that, Jeff. I know for some reason I can speak more on authority about orgies than nachos,
loaded nachos.
On them. Yeah,
loaded nachos. Well, yeah, you can imagine that if there's loaded nachos, the ones that are loaded with all the meats and the toppings, those are the best ones. This metaphor is falling apart on me. I forgot what we were talking about.
Oh, this episode fell apart probably 20 minutes ago.
Well, all right. Well, try it again next week. Thank you, everyone. No, actually, there's still more to talk about. I forgot.
Hold on. Let me open up another alcohol.
See, you're smart. You have them within arm's reach, and I don't.
Yeah, I have my my plush Donkey Kong holding a spare one for me, so I can just take it out of his arms.
What a guy. So,
yes.
Enough about what we did not see.
Yes.
At this show. What if we talked instead about what we did see?
Well, I guess the only thing of specific relevance to DK Vine that was shown.
Garfield.
Wait, Garfield was shown?
Yeah, Starfield. Starfield.
Oh.
Who hates Star Mondays.
Okay.
Loves Star Lasagna.
No,
this is hilarious.
Yeah, I'm laughing so much that you can't even hear the sounds. It's imperceptible. No, as we predicted, there was a Sea of Thieves season 7 trailer, and I got into the every time they showed like the world premiere console exclusive, like the double header.
Can we also say we all agree that the world premiere thing just doesn't hit the same without that guy doing the voiceover?
Yeah,
remember the guy?
I remember the guy.
Premiere. Yeah, it's missing something now
because this wasn't being held in the Microsoft Theater in downtown Los Angeles. They probably felt like there was no need to bring the guy in because the guy is there to. I'm
pretty sure it was like a voice recording they just played 1,000 times. It wasn't like a live guy.
No, he was there. He was chained to the pipes. They had a little doggy bowl for him, and they were like, "Say it, damn it, say it!" And they whipped him.
This is awful. I'm glad he's not there anymore. Unless, either he got freedom, which is great, or he died along the way, which would be bad, but also is another way of getting freedom, I suppose.
Right. Again, freedom has to be. You have to be given permission to have the freedom.
Permission to be free. Yeah. Anyway.
No, there's
world premiere.
Yeah, world premiere. Yeah, sorry. And so every time I saw that, I was like, well, this might be Banjo. Well, this might be Banjo. And then you would see like a city skyline and you're like, well, this is a Banjo. All right. But
I always like to imagine the first like 5 seconds that you see, even though it looks nothing like Banjo, just try to imagine how it could wrap around and be about Banjo. And just like see this realistic fucking desolate city, apocalypse. And you're like, well, maybe this is Banjo. Let's imagine how that would work.
Yeah, he just like pops out from the corner of the screen with Kazooie, and he like waves.
Just completely out of place in this like, yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, would it though? No, Sea of Thieves season 7 though. When this trailer came on, I was like, oh, finally something I'm familiar with. Oh, comfort food, and because it does like this. Specific Xbox and Bethesda game showcase, it felt more like the ones like from circa 2015, 2016, where there wasn't a great mix of games as far as like art style or tone goes. I don't agree with that, and we can get into it later if you want. But I've heard a lot of people saying while they're watching it, like every game is just another game about shooting people with guns. This is so boring. And first of all, no, that was the Jeff Keighley show from last week. Okay, that was not this. He was personally shooting people, from what I hear.
Yeah, well, he Jeff Keighley famously said, I could stand in the middle of Main Street and shoot somebody and I'd get away with it. But no, I don't think this show was that. I thought this was actually like, I mean, there were shooters. Of course, there were shooters. They were pretty colorful. Some of them were very colorful, different looking shooters.
Well, the Rick and Morty one. Well,
I like that shooters these days aren't all looking the same apocalyptic brown and gray that they used to. There's actually some artistic kind of flourish with the shooting worlds, even if they are still just a shooter. But I thought there was some good variety here. I thought there was a good mix of stuff. You know, there was Grounded, and there was Minecraft Legends, and there was the Forza stuff, and then there was some smaller indie looking things that looked pretty cool. And yeah, there were shooters, but Overwatch 2 looks way different than like Redfall, which looks way different than the Rick and Morty shooter. You know, it's video games, video games.
All right. Well, I still felt like there. I agree. It wasn't as bad as like that era Xbox where you were just getting all apocalyptic brown, Tom Clancy's Apocalypse Now, whatever, But it still felt great to see those slightly cartoony Sea of Thieves pirates doing a little, on the piano, and it's like, okay, all right, like, This makes me happy. Anyway, they did a trailer for Season 7, and the big draw of Season 7 is captaincy. And what is captaincy, Jeff?
Yeah, so captaincy is a word in the Sea of Thieves community that it just like brings a lot of baggage with it, because when Sea of Thieves launched back in March of 2018.
Oh my God.
Back when I was 6 years old, when that game came out. And they said that the first major update they're going to do is going to be the captaincy update, which was supposed to add in the microtransaction shop and also in like pets and stuff. And then also was going to add in captaincy, which was this notion of an in-game kind of thing where you become the captain of the ship. And if you are the captain of the ship, you and your crew get certain perks in terms of customization, being able to kind of name your ship, decorate your ship, and make it your own, and make it persistent from session to session in various ways, and actually make the ship itself have weight to it as like a singular ship and not just like in one of infinity ships that you can spawn and respawn every time you sink and stuff. It actually feels like a ship, and it's your ship. It's different from everyone else's.
Yeah.
All of these, and then some other perks that come along with that. So anyway, they didn't put that out back in 2018 because they realized immediately that the community wanted other things prioritized in terms of actually things to do in the game, which was a good shout. And then they spent 4 years adding new things to do. And now they decided that it's time to go back and finally fulfill that promise of the captaincy. So that's what this is all about.
Yeah, and, not even getting into, like, Insider, which I remain spoiler-free for. I'm part of it, but I don't really partake. This has kind of been out in the open a little bit, like, at least the naming the ship thing was coming, because there has been there was a persistent glitch on the ship's crest for a week or two in game where it kept flickering, and it was like, well, clearly they're doing something with the ship's crest at long last, which has just been empty on all players' galleons. And then
it's like walking around with one of those sticker name tags that says "Hello, my name is," and then you just don't write anything down, and you just walk around with it on your. That's what it feels like with the ship's crest on our ship.
Yeah,
that doesn't have a name on it.
But it was flickering, and then some people spotted ship crest on the back of some sloops, and which it wasn't a thing, and they were like, what? So it's been pretty clear that this was coming, at least the name your ship part, which I have been very excited about. I've been wanting it since the technical alpha, when I would talk about it with you all, sailing around in those short 2-hour sessions or whatever. Because when we play, Jeff, you and I and Cameron and Dustin or Regal or whoever sails with us, we say that our galleon is named the Dreadfully Evil. That's what we named our galleon. And I'd be like, wow, that would be great to have it up on the ship's crest. Oh, well, it's what it's called in spirit. But now we can name it, and it adds so many vital features that really excite me. So some of the times they've updated Sea of Thieves and they've added new features, I'm like, I guess that's cool. It's not really what I want. All of this is stuff that I've wanted and dreamed about since the game, before it even been released, before I even got to play it in the technical alpha or at E3 or at Rare, when it was just that early trailer back at E3 2015. This is the stuff I was daydreaming about, and it's finally coming, and I'm so over the moon.
Yeah, I file all of this in the firmly in the that's really neat folder. None of it is like groundbreaking, or like, it's obviously not like A Pirate's Life, which was last E3's big reveal that Jack Sparrow from off of Pirates of the Caribbean was going to be in the game in a massive 5-chapter story campaign and all the stuff that came last year. Like, that was a big one. This isn't groundbreaking like that. I think that if you're outside of the Sea of Thieves kind of, if you're not like a vested Sea of Thieves player, this trailer probably didn't do anything for you, because it's not flashy. It's not something that's going to draw in new people per se. But it is something that I think is going to please just about everybody who is sailing the game and has been playing the game. It's just stuff that people have wanted for a long time.
It's
no-brainer features.
It's really going to help with the role-playing aspect, where you really feel invested in your ship, your pirate, your crew. It's definitely going to boost all of that. And I feel like I've needed that boost. Because sometimes in Sea of Thieves, and I will admit this happens to me, you kind of get weighed down by the grind. The grind of getting commendations, of getting seasonal renown, doing the time-limited stuff. Got to get that checkbox checked off. Got to get this checked off. Hurry, hurry. Time's wasting. We only have 13 days to finish this. And you lose sight of what the game is supposed to be, which is going on a magical adventure with your friends. This will all help that, at least in my mind, in my imagination, that will help boost that.
Yeah, so in terms of what that entails, you get to name your you can become the captain of a ship, and then you can name the ship. You can decorate the captain's cabin and the parts of the ship, rugs and the drapes and the tables and chairs and things.
I wonder if my carpets will match my drapes.
Oh, that's a funny joke. Ding! We beat a little sound effect every time Hyle says a funny joke.
That's my second can of alcohol, ding, helping me be funny.
Yeah. That's all you needed to make funny jokes. Booze. Then there's you can decorate stuff on the shelves and stuff. You put up your own custom kind of decor, shelf trinkets, and it said that there are rewards to unlock. So I'm thinking that those will correspond to achievements or accomplishments you've had in the game. Get you a trinket you could physically put on a shelf and display.
Yeah.
And then when someone boards your ship, you could see, stuff that they've done or how they like to decorate their ship and stuff like that. And then also, however you decorate your ship will stay consistent over session to session. You don't have to redecorate the ship at the start of every day when, if you don't want to. You can just keep it persistent.
Yes.
They said that there are special captain's voyages that are exclusive to captains, but we don't know any of the details on that yet. They said that you can kind of chronicle the adventure that you've gone on using a captain's log, which they gave no details on, but that really gets my imagination turning.
Well, Jeff,
in terms of yeah, go ahead.
Not to put you on the spot, but whenever we play Sea of Thieves, you are the person on the crew who goes to the bathroom more than anybody. And
what?
So when I heard Captain's Log, I thought of you.
Like a poop, a fecal poop,
like a poop. Yeah, I thought of you, Jeff.
Well, that's funny. I do. I am very regular, and especially in the morning, we jump on Sea of Thieves at 11 a.m. on Sundays.
Yeah.
And I get right into it, and then I say, "Sorry, guys, I have to go take a poop. I have to go a fecal poop." So that's true, but that I take as a compliment to my body because it's It's important to poop. Pooping is a good thing for you to do, especially, once a day or so is a good, I think, amount.
In the live stream, Crinkleroot says, "Remember that not E3 DK Vine episode when no rare stuff happened? So they talked about orgies, and you can add poop to that now too." Crinkleroot.
I think we lost 3 viewers. Anyways, yeah, so it's just kind of some perks. Oh, the other perk is that it appears that there's this new station on the outpost where you can sell loot that it seems to be for ease of access, like faster selling. Go right to a dock and sell everything there instead of having to maybe walk as far. We don't really know how that's going to work either.
According to this scroll that the pirate unfurled during the trailer, they're called the Sovereigns. The Sovereigns. Says, easily sell your loot to the Sovereigns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back when the game first came out, there were 4 base cosmetic sets you could buy for like clothing and stuff and ships. And those 4 base sets were the Bildrat, the Sea Dog, the Sovereign, and the Admiral. Ooh. And then since then, that was at launch. Since then, the Bildrats came into the game as a faction of pirates. The Sea Dogs came in as a faction for the arena mode, and now the Sovereigns are coming in and to serve some kind of function in the game. So that kind of implies to me that the Admiral probably is on their long-term roadmap as well. Probably some kind of naval faction related to the Royal Navy or the Grand Maritime Union.
Yeah, I was going to say Grand Maritime Union, yeah.
But that's probably down the pipeline a ways. But Sovereigns are coming. We don't know what that's going to do or how that's going to work. But it's just basically, it's like I said, this isn't groundbreaking. This isn't going to excite people who aren't well-versed in Sea of Thieves and like care about the little minor details and quality of life things. But like you said, it's going to aid in the role play. It's really going to help the role play. I think it's going to help the feeling of progression if you're a player coming up through the game and having milestones to work towards, like you're on your path to Pirate Legend, but like working up to the point where you can become a captain is now going to be a milestone on your journey in the game.
I guess we don't have any details on that, how that works yet. Unless Rare's like updated the Sea of Thieves
I think
website.
that they tweeted something like you can buy a ship or something, so maybe it's just saving up enough money to do it, or maybe you have to be at a certain progression level to do it. I don't know. They didn't say it was like Pirate Legend exclusive, and I don't think it will be because Pirate Legends are still a small percentage of the player base.
That's surprising because usually when I play, I only encounter Pirate Legends.
Yeah, I think it's something like 1% of players are Pirate Legends. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, this really excited me, and honestly, I know I'm a weirdo who likes Sea of Thieves, as are you, Jeff, but this, like, I didn't really worry about Banjo after this because this is all stuff I've been wanting since before day one. And just the fact that you can save your ship. This is, I mean, you know how many times I gripe about this, Jeff. Every time we play and I'm at the shipwright setting our ship up and I'm like, oh, I wish we could save this. Oh, I wish there was a way to save this. Dip, 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 dip. Well, now we can do it and I can stop complaining and maybe live life.
I still think, and maybe this will come, they didn't say it, but I really wish they would add more customization, like quality of life tools in the, like you should let me pre-save multiple outfits and then I can instantly switch to another outfit that I've got saved.
Yeah.
And then you should have it so if I want to wear everything in a certain set, say I highlight the hat that goes with this one set, and there should be an option that just says like equip everything from that set if you want to dress up in that set. Like that should be an option. Like same with decorating the ship. If I want the full Baron Bird set, I shouldn't have to go and equip the cannons and then equip the wheel and then equip the hull and then equip the sails and then equip the capstan. Like you should have a button that just says equip everything that matches. Yes. Click. Go. Hopefully that kind of stuff comes. That would be really kind of straightforward, quality of life, highly requested thing. Otherwise, yeah, not a lot to sink our teeth into here. I really think they could have stood to maybe highlight the next kind of adventure, like story trailer, or something along those lines. Because, like I said, I don't think this trailer necessarily does much to impress people who aren't playing inside Sea of Thieves. So, showing a story trailer, or maybe even just like a recap of like this Save Golden Sands saga that just took place. Something to show people, look, there's cool stuff happening in game, other than just this kind of quality of life update that's coming with the captaincy.
I mean,
Anyway,
it's going to pale compared to last year, obviously, and I think that's fine because the focus doesn't need to be on Sea of Thieves every year. Like they came in, they said, hey, and sometimes it's just enough of a reminder to say like, hey, Sea of Thieves still rolling on, still having free updates. They made sure to mention the free updates.
They hit 30 million players.
Yeah,
we have a pirate face to put to the voice of John McMurtry's trailer announcing voiceover guy. And so we now have an in-game face to put to that voice, which I'm considering a canon character.
Sure. Why not?
Yeah. He's in there. He's the trailer announcer guy.
Mitchell had a question for me that he wanted me to answer on the conversation, and this came up when I talked to Mitchell earlier today. He said, is the trailer canon, and if so, how do you reconcile the mention of Game Pass in the trailer?
No, okay, so here's the thing that I'll tell you. The trailer is soft canon in the sense that it is through the fourth wall eyes of an unreliable narrator. And so details of the trailer may not all be factually, hard canon, but the trailer itself, it's an unreliable narrator. It's based on a real event, but it's actors inside a scene playing a real event. So they broke the fourth wall because it's like a play. Think of it like that. Also, it put a voice to that guy playing the piano, because who has been in a lot of trailers for Sea of Thieves. There's this crew that's in this trailer, which includes Nine Cat Nura.
Yeah.
But this crew of 4 pirates have been in like every story trailer for the game. And this is the first time one of them has spoken. And all he says is that it's on Game Pass, which is pretty funny. But yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, we could keep going on and on about this. And Jeff, you will be on the upcoming Kongversation for Sea of Thieves Season 6, where we will discuss the whole saga. They put your outpost, Golden Sands, in peril and gave you weeks of stress.
They said, here, you have a way in game to represent your values and save Golden Sands. And they said, and we're going to do it right when you get the COVID virus. And so that you will be too sick to play the game and you won't be able to help out your side.
Honestly, Jeff, do you know if the Reapers actually gave you COVID so you couldn't participate more?
No, I was making out with a public toilet.
Okay.
Yeah. I went to an orgy in Chicago, so...
Yeah. I know, and when you're at the orgy, you can't just say no and like make out with the toilet. That's how you progress. Like before you become an orgy captain, you have to first make out with the toilet.
It's actually pretty ironic. You'd think that orgy people are obviously going to be pro-mask because of the masquerade masks, but you'd be surprised. Very anti-mask at the orgy. They cover the tops of their face, but they leave the mouth exposed. Mouths are an important hole. Okay, that's the one hole. The one hole on your head we don't want covered up. No, but I will say that I was just complaining the other week about how I feel there's not enough customization in Sea of Thieves. Like once you settle upon the look of your pirate and you really get that vibe going that you want. Like I've been wearing the same jacket since launch, and I eventually like settled on a look I liked with, pants and haircut and eye patch, and it's like I don't want to change any of this. And once I got like a tattoo, I got my tattoo from Merrick during the Hungering Deep. I got my scar from the Hungering Deep when the Megalodon bit me, and I don't want to change those, and you can't add a second one. So it's just like
I feel like I have like gotten my pirate to where I want them, and I don't really want anything new or to switch out anything. And isn't that a shame? Because I keep unlocking and earning all of these cosmetics that I'm never going to use. I wish there was more customization available in the game, and lo and behold, here we are. And it's almost like I would have known what was coming, but I didn't because again, I was unspoiled. So
Yep. So that's it for rare based things, for DKU relevant things. Unless there's stuff shown on Tuesday or beyond.
Cameron does say in the live stream, it'll be nice for conversation to turn from remember when we got sunk by that sloop to remember when we got sunk by Horse Willie 420.
Yeah, we still talk about Scott's Tots, those like 10-year-old Scottish kids that beat our ass in game, and we decided to name them Scott's Tots.
Right,
but yeah, it'd be nice to actually know what they call themselves if their ship has a name. Although, yeah, I think a lot of them are just going to be Horse Willie 420 type names. My ship, when I'm not sailing on the DK Vine stream with the Dreadfully Evil, my ship is named the Miscreant Mallard, which is named after a pretty naughty duck.
Yeah.
But, this is the fun part about Sea of Thieves. Everyone already has a name for their ship. People naturally name their ships. And so actually having the option in the game to do it and display it and show it to other pirates, like that's going to be like just a pretty cool feeling. Like it's just something that just feels natural, should have always been there.
I agree. I am going to worry if we ever sail on a brigantine how we're going to express that.
Yeah, because the name that we gave to our brigantine is not allowed in the confines of the censorship system.
And I don't see why. It's not saying anything negative about it, and I think it would have really tied in well with the whole Platinum Jubilee.
Yeah, and we're not going to tell you what it is. Use your imagination. But I will tell you, it rhymes with the Queen's Jussy.
Yeah, that's a great rhyme, Jeff.
I couldn't think of anything that rhymed with pussy. Oh, so I gave it away.
Oh no. We were being so demure. We were being so buttoned up about it. Oh.
Now the Queen's gonna give me COVID. Anyway, did you have anything to say about the overall event or any other games you saw in there that maybe, I don't know, you don't play games, so did anything tick off the Hyle radar? I'm kind of expecting the answers to be no.
Okay,
I'm curious.
I have a few thoughts. I can't say anything really like wowed me to the point where I'm like, I have to play that. And that's not speaking ill of any of these games. I'm sure they're all fantastic for the right crowd. But I'm a weirdo. I am a weirdo with niche interest. That's just who I am. And so, it sometimes it takes a talking squirrel to get me invested. I did have to applaud how many corpses we saw getting eaten during this presentation.
Good corpse. Yeah.
In less than 90 minutes, we had 3 corpses getting devoured by 3 different types of animals.
Yeah. Yeah. And, and we saw Todd Howard. He looks a little bit like a corpse. Actually, no, I posted in our chat. We were kind of watching it, and people in Discord kind of live commentating what they're seeing. And I posted that Todd Howard looks like Alice from the Brady Bunch. And then I put a side-by-side picture, and it turned out I was right. Yeah. He does look like Alice from the Brady Bunch. So if Todd is listening, probably is. No offense.
And now I just want the Brady Bunch opening credits with the end edited to say and Ann B. Davis as Todd Howard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you put all the little Xbox talking heads in the bubbles. Isn't that the Brady Bunch opening? Is they're all in like a little square?
They're squares and they're looking at each other.
Yeah, squares. Yeah. So you get Phil in there. Get what's her name? Sarah James Bond. Everyone, whoever, everyone is here. But there's some good corpses in this one. I thought there were some good looking games. I'm really excited about Grounded getting its full release outside of the beta preview. That's happening in September. That game is really fun.
Yeah, it's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, but as a game.
But the multiplayer game. Yeah, it's fun. It's just fun. There's that. I'm not a Starfield guy. I know Starfield is treated like the big thing of the show. If you're excited about Starfield, let us know on Twitter. We won't engage with it. But
Jeff, can I have a question? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, ask me a question.
What is Starfield?
Starfield is the new RPG IP from Bethesda Games in their long history of very good games like Fallout and Elder Scrolls, and this is their big new one. And it's a space game. It's an RPG where you can go anywhere in space and go to different planets and interact and do things like Skyrim. If you know about Skyrim, it's like Skyrim but for space.
I've heard of Skyrim.
It looks fine. I liked the look of Redfall, which was the first thing they showed is the people fighting vampires on a weird little island off the coast of Massachusetts. And there's like vampires and superpowers and stuff. And I thought that one looked good because I like vampires. So also shout out in the chat to G-Man Sir, who said, he said, oh, I went to the bathroom and accidentally got some on my shorts. So thank you. Thank you, G-Man, for the comment. We like the openness, the honesty. Don't ever change. Yeah. Any other games, Hyle? Did you like any other games? Do you like cars? Do you like car games?
I'm not a car person. Cars have never done it for me. In fact,
I don't like cars.
I see a car. I see people driving cars, and it doesn't even have to be a muscle car. It could be like a Gremlin, and I could be like, "What are you compensating for, jackass?"
Just see a person in a vehicle. Just like, wow, geez, yeah, this guy, he's a grower, not a shower. But
I mean, like, I do drive a car. I'm not in.
Do you like what about those Hot Wheels tracks on Forza? That look pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a Micro Machines guy as a kid, so I feel I feel like I backed the wrong horse.
Yeah, you really did. You really did. You were I had a Matchbox cars.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I didn't. We couldn't afford cars, so when I was a kid, we just had to play with the dead bugs and pretend that they were cars.
And you picked those dead bugs out of one of the corpses from the trailers today.
Yeah. Zombie style.
I liked that Fallout. The one Fallout was the Pit.
The Pit with 2 T's.
I didn't like that, but I liked they picked another classic song because every E3 we always have to have a classic boomer song. Last year it was Steely Dan.
Played it kind of eerily, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, was it Dirty Work last year?
No, Dirty Work was James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
That's right.
They did what was it?
Do It Again.
Do It Again.
Do It Again.
Yeah.
Back.
And then
Jack. Do It Again.
And this year was Downtown by Petula Clark. So
right. So and isn't Petula a character from Viva Pinata?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's my favorite Viva Pinata character for sure.
Yeah, right, for sure. So speaking of no Viva Pinata sequel this year, sorry for anyone who's hopeful. No Viva Pinata. Let's say what else there wasn't. There no Jet Force Gemini sequels. There was no Grab by the Ghoulie sequel.
Although that Benedict Cumberfox game, sort of started like Grab by the Ghoulies.
That was basically Ghoulies if most of the details were different.
Right.
So I don't have any more to say about it. I know that, okay, so we've got the show coming on Tuesday, and that'll be cool to tune in. I'm sure we're going to get a little more detail on Sea of Thieves there.
Yeah, so
and maybe some surprise announcements. Probably don't plan on it.
Here's the deal, Jeff, and I just want to get this out in the open. If they reveal
What's the deal?
Banjo-Kazooie, a Tuesday show, we will have a second, for the first time ever, we will have a second DK Vines Not E3 2022 Xbox Kongversation. We'll call it Not E3 2002 Xbox 2. That's what we'll call it.
Xbox 360. That just sounds rad. No, so yeah, there'll be that. And then I'm telling you right now, this is what I expect to happen. There will be no Nintendo announcement this week. You will do your little podcast on Friday or whatever, where you give up on there being a Nintendo thing. And then next week, they will announce that it's happening like later in June. And then we're going to have to do it all again in 2 weeks and have a Nintendo episode. So that's what's going to happen. Lock it in. And I guess that's about it, other than the contest announcement. The contest. So let us know. Go on Twitter if you. So we have put amount of jelly beans in a jar, and go on Twitter if you find the jelly beans, because I buried them somewhere in the world. If you find them, you post it on Twitter, you get to keep the jelly beans. So that's our contest for this E3. You have to tag it #Skeleton Beach Party. Right, Hyle?
Yeah.
Did I do it wrong?
No, but they're probably going to be in G-Man shorts, so...
Well, I said I buried them, but maybe his shorts are full of dirt. We don't know. Thank you for joining us, and thank you, Hyle, for having me.
Thank you, Jeff. We'll see you Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. I don't know.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for details.
Or never again. We don't know. So
I could die in the middle of the night. You don't know.
Yeah, and I have power of attorney. So I get DK Vine.
This has been a File 2 production.
Que rico.